The Cleveland Browns sweep the award season. The NFL honors, they honored everybody on Cleveland. We won everything. Let's jump right into it. First up is Jim Schwartz, Assistant Coach of the Year. This defense took off once he took over. Last year, Joe Woods had this defense, and no disrespect to Joe Woods, he's probably a great guy, a nice human being. He probably does things for charities and all that great stuff, but he just wasn't meant to be the Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator because he had good talent, but that talent just didn't show on the field under his leadership. Jim Schwartz comes in, and in his first year, guess what? First in yards allowed in defense, and the most consistent thing we had on Cleveland. And they were the main reason we were the 5th seed in the playoffs in his first year as the defensive coordinator. It wasn't the quarterbacks, okay? We had 5 of them. Count them. 5. Deshaun Watson, number 1. P.J. Walker, number 2. DTR, number 3. Joe Flacco, number 4. But who's the 5th one? I don't remember the 5th one. You shouldn't remember him. Jeff Driscoll, 5. And the defense held down all of them. Jim Schwartz is a leader. He has that aura. I can't wait till next year to see what he's going to do. So at the end of the day, Assistant Coach of the Year, Jim Schwartz, you're my man, my main brother. I'm happy for you, man. Congratulations, Jim Schwartz. Next up, Myles Garrett, come on down. Defensive Player of the Year. It's finally happened. It should have happened a long time ago, but that's here nor there. But there are tears. There are rivers crying all over the world. T.J. Watt, oh my goodness. Oh, robbery. Pittsburgh fans all over the place, whining and complaining. I've never seen so much tears since Justin Timberlake cried a river. I don't know what's going on around here. Oh my God. Oh, don't you understand? Football is more than just stats, box score watching. It's not called the leading sack getter award. It's called the Defensive Player of the Year award, not who got the most sacks. I don't know if people understand that. Stop watching box scores. Put on the film, put on the tape. Myles Garrett is a terror on the field. All right? Dude gets double teamed, pedigreed, chokeslam, slapped like Cody Rhodes. But I don't think people understand these things when they're watching Myles Garrett. But I'm glad the NFL does. And to make it even better, Micah Parsons, who was 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year, he advocated for our guy, Myles Garrett, because he understands football and he knows he's the most dominant player on the field this year in Myles Garrett. And if I could give truth serum to every single GM in the NFL, I can almost guarantee that they would select first on defense Myles Garrett, because that's how dominant this dude is. So Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, first ever in Cleveland Browns history, by the way. Congratulations. Up next, my guy, Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year. I don't want to hear nothing else about him not being a good coach. When you are in the same breath, the same book, the same chapter, the same paragraph maybe as Bill Belichick, you're doing something right. Now, I understand play calling and all that, the semantics, but he is a 2-time Coach of the Year. He is a leader of men, because when you can get guys, you can galvanize them to stay on the path. They lost people like Deshaun Watson. They lost Nick Chubb. They lost the starting left tackle. They lost the starting right tackle. They lost the backup right tackle. They lost people on the defensive side of the ball for multiple games through multiple parts of the season, beginning, middle, end, and still get to the NFL playoffs. He's a leader of men. He's more than X's and O's. He gets guys to buy in. So he definitely deserves NFL Coach of the Year. Teams have injuries. Teams have bad luck. The Bengals had bad luck with Joe Burrow going down in training camp. Then he played, then he went down again. They didn't get to the NFL playoffs. So he definitely deserves the credit of Coach of the Year. I think D'Amico Ryans did a very good job in Houston. And if the Browns didn't have the injuries that they have, he may have won Coach of the Year. I think it was 1 vote or 2 votes off those first place votes. I think it was 1 or 2. Somebody can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. With CJ Stroud, nobody expected them to get where they were at. But Kevin Stefanski is definitely the Coach of the Year. Everything that he went through this season, without a shadow of a doubt, Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year, 2 times. Don't doubt this man. Last but not least, Joe Flacco, Comeback Player of the Year. This dude was on the couch playing Call of Duty. And now he went to the Browns quarterback, starting quarterback, throwing moon balls to Amari Cooper, lasers to David Njoku. Now, I think I was the only one speaking truth about Joe Flacco when everybody was in love with him. We didn't want to talk about his faults, but that's not what this is about right now. This is about what he did. This is why he is the Comeback Player of the Year. 13 touchdowns. I don't know the yardage right now. It doesn't even matter at this point. This dude was airing out the football after playing Call of Duty. He just didn't care. And I'm glad he won Comeback Player of the Year. I thought it was going to be Damar Hamlin just because of the story. He didn't play much, but I thought the story was going to tie into it and it was going to give him the victory, but it didn't. It went to the best player that came back. That's why it's called Comeback Player of the Year. And that's Joe Flacco, helping this team get to the playoffs, galvanizing a city, just wanting a winner. And that's what he did. So he definitely deserves it. I know some people saying, what about Baker Mayfield? He deserves it too. Listen, just because you were sorry last year, doesn't mean you should get Comeback Player of the Year. In my humble opinion. All right? You don't stink up the joint and then you just get to be Comeback Player. All right? I think if you're injured and you come back and do well, that's one thing. But if you just sucked and then you come back and you do well, it means you did better. So I think Comeback Player of the Year definitely should be Joe Flacco. And he won. Joe Flacco, my guy. Congratulations. Thank you, Joe. And they swept the awards, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Cleveland. We got things to be optimistic about going into this next season. Maybe this time next year, we won't be talking about the NFL honors. We'll be talking about this coming Sunday and the Super Bowl. We only can hope. But ladies and gentlemen, you know the drill. If you make it this far, leave a comment and in the hashtag NFL honors because we swept it all. It's what we do. And until next time, you know the drill. I'll see ya when I see ya. Peace.